Okay, so think about this for a second. A $60 billion market, and it's still growing fast.
Yeah, we're talking about the beauty scene in the Middle East and North Africa, the MNA region.
Exactly. It's getting a lot of attention. People are calling it the new beauty frontier.
It makes sense. When you see numbers like that, you have to ask, okay, what's really going on? What's driving this?
Right. It's not just a blip. There are some deeper shifts happening.
Definitely.
So, for this deep dive, we've looked at industry reports, some expert analysis, basically trying to get the full picture of why this market is, well, booming.
And the idea is to give you a clear sense of the big drivers, what consumers there actually want, and also this interesting rise of local brands.
Okay, so let's start with the big picture, the scale.
The scale is pretty impressive. You're looking at growth around 11, maybe 12% every year.
Wow.
And what's really telling, McKinsey had data looking from 2015 out to 2027. It shows the growth is nearly double the rate you see in places like the U.S., more mature markets.
Yeah. Double. That's huge. And sustained growth, too, across makeup, fragrance, hair,
Yeah.
and especially skincare, right?
Exactly. Skincare is a big part of it, that kind of consistent, strong growth. It gets noticed.
You bet it does. And we are seeing the big global names moving in, like Ulta Beauty. They just signed a franchise deal with the Alshaya Group.
Right, that's a major move.
And then there's Macaron, that K-beauty e-commerce site. They've just launched in 6 MENA countries.
So it shows global players see the potential.
Right.
They're not just testing the waters, they're like committing.
So what's pulling them in? I mean, beside the growth numbers.
Well, a huge factor is the demographics. It's incredibly young. Over half the population is under 30.
Over half under 30. That's a massive group of consumers hitting their prime spending year.
Exactly. And they're very digitally connected, engaged. They know what's out there.
And they're definitely spending in this area. We saw a 2024 report from Beauty Matter. It said women there are averaging about $52 a month on skincare and $63 on makeup.
Yeah, that's significant regular spending.
And what's also interesting is that men's interest and spending on personal care is climbing too. So the whole base is getting wider.
That's a really important point. It's not just one segment driving everything. Now, if we dig into the categories, skincare really stands out. Huge potential there.
How so?
Well, the Shilhoop Group, they do a lot of research in the region. They point out that skincare market penetration in the GCC countries, it's only around 12 to 14%.
Only 12, 14%. Compared to what globally?
Globally, the average is more like 35%.
Wow. Okay. So there's a massive gap, a huge opportunity just in skincare alone.
Precisely. Room for enormous growth.
And here's something I found really fascinating. Almost half of the Gen Z consumers in the Arab world, they actually start their whole beauty journey with skincare.
Yeah, not makeup, which might have been the traditional starting point maybe a generation ago.
Right. Why do you think that shift is happening? Is it social media or?
It could be a mix of things. I mean, there's definitely more awareness now about long-term skin health,
Yeah.
probably fueled by online content influencers.
Yeah.
And maybe, a cultural shift too, valuing that natural, healthy skin look over, say, very heavy makeup. This skin-first idea seems really strong with Gen Z there.
And it ties into those local beauty brands we'll talk about later, I guess. They're meeting that foundational need.
Absolutely.
And it's not just basic skincare. Their routines seem pretty involved, like almost 5 products on average.
Yeah, the reports mention things like cleanser, moisturizer, definitely sunscreen, lip balm, eye cream. It's quite a dedicated routine.
It suggests a more proactive, preventative mindset, perhaps.
I think so. And their priorities reflect that. Shilhoop Group found, 35% are really focused on anti-aging and hydration.
Okay, so core skin health concerns.
Right, and another 28% said their main goal is achieving that natural, sort of fresh-faced look.
So it all points back to that skin-first philosophy we mentioned.
Exactly. It's less about covering up, more about having a great canvas to start with.
Jasmina Benda from Shilhoop mentioned this explicitly, a move away from heavy makeup, prioritizing healthy skin. And she talked about demand for hybrid products, too.
Yes, things that offer skincare benefits and maybe a bit of coverage or glow.
Exactly. Like a tinted moisturizer or a blurring primer with SPF, it's about enhancing, not hiding.
Makes total sense, especially when you factor in the climate.
Oh, definitely. That hot, dry desert environment, it must really drive demand for hydration and protection.
Absolutely. Kelly Kovac from Beauty Matter put it really well. She talked about the challenges, the extreme dryness, the intense sun, even minerals in the water.
Right, all leading to constant dehydration, maybe irritation.
So good skincare isn't just cosmetic. It's almost necessary to combat those environmental factors.
It's functional.
Very functional. And this focus on skin health, it ties into a bigger trend, doesn't it? The whole wellness movement in the region.
Yeah, that connection is strong. I saw a figure, Saudi Arabia's wellness economy, something like $19.8 billion. That's huge.
Wow. Okay, so skincare is becoming part of that broader self-care wellness picture.
It seems like it. Muzan Ashkar, she founded MZN Bodycare. She talks about this move towards holistic beauty rituals, things that are also stress relieving.
And incorporating traditional elements too, right?
Yes, like herbal infusions, bakur, that fragrant smoke for scenting skin and clothes, and even focusing on scalp health. It's a very rounded approach.
It's like beauty as holistic well-being, rooted in local traditions.
And that deep understanding of local needs and culture seems to be why these homegrown beauty brands are doing so well.
They have an inside track, you could say. They just get it.
Like MZN Bodycare, the Saudi brand we mentioned, they focus on natural ingredients, effective products.
And they use local resources, right? Like that moringa oil from Miola.
Exactly. Known for being super hydrating, which is perfect for the climate. And it seems to be working. They've got over 80 retail partners since starting in 2015.
That's impressive growth.
And the founder, Muzan Ashkar, her philosophy is really interesting. She emphasizes quality over quantity, being transparent about ingredients.
And connecting with customers authentically.
Yes, and she talks about honoring Saudi beauty traditions, but also innovating. That blend seems key.
Authenticity combined with modern needs, that's powerful.
Then there's another example, Peacefull. That's a UAE brand.
Founded by Salama Mohammed, the influencer.
That's the one. Their approach is a bit different. They blend Korean skincare tech, which is obviously huge globally.
Right. K-beauty innovations.
With ingredients specifically chosen for Middle Eastern skin concerns.
Ah, okay. So taking global tech and tailoring it. Smart.
Yeah, like their mugwort clay cleanser. It uses mugwort and Centella asiatica, both known for being soothing and calming. Perfect for skin stressed by the climate, perhaps.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, you have these successful local brands really understanding the nuances. What does that mean for the big global players trying to make inroads?
It sounds like they really need to do their homework. A generic approach probably won't cut it.
Seems unlikely.
Kelly Kovac made this point too. Global brands need to deeply understand the market. You know, the culture, the climate challenges, the specific beauty standards.
It's not monolithic, right? Consumer behavior isn't the same across the board.
Not at all. Success means really turning into those unique regional factors.
Yeah.
You can't just copy-paste a strategy from Europe or the US.
Makes sense. So wrapping it up then, we've got this incredible growth in the mini beauty market.
Driven by a really young, savvy population.
Especially Gen Z, who are jumping into skincare first. This whole skin-first trend is huge.
Plus, the climate necessitates certain products, and there's this growing wellness movement influencing everything.
And the local beauty brands are thriving because they inherently understand all of this. They're connected.
Exactly. So it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Thinking about these unique drivers in the mini region.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you think, what other markets out there, maybe ones we overlook, could tell us something important about where global beauty standards and consumer needs are heading next?
That's a good question. What other beauty frontiers might be emerging with their own unique stories?
Something to keep an eye on.